Welcome back to my Clothing Confession podcast, where confessions become connections. And today we're going to be confessing and connecting with a new friend. We met in Santa Monica, which is like an amazing place to meet awesome people. And his name is Scott.
Hello, hello.
He's also a podcaster.
I am.
And I'm excited to have you and to talk about modern dating.
I would love that. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your podcast,
Sure.
which is called
It's called Wish You All the Best.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, it's like when you text somebody when you're like, it's not quite a match, and you don't want to be rude, and you say like, I'm sorry, it's not the right thing, but I wish you all the best.
I wish you all the best. Okay.
But I do. I think we should wish each other all the best. I think modern dating is really, really tricky. So yeah, it's like
You need a wish for that. So a little bit about you.
Sure.
You're not from LA, I know that.
That's right.
You recently moved or a couple of years ago?
A good memory. Yeah, I was born and raised in Northern California.
I didn't listen to your audio, so.
You're very sweet. You're very sweet, and thank you for listening. Born and raised in Northern California. I lived for 10 years in New York City for a while.
Oh, wow.
And then came back to California. I love New York. It's a great place. I was a starving artist there. It's a very different city.
It's rough.
It can be,
Right.
yeah. But it's it does feel like the center of the universe sometimes. It's a great city.
I bet you learned a lot there.
I did. And then
Lived in New York?
came back to California. I was up in the San Francisco Bay Area for about 10 years. And then, came here about 2 years ago.
Why LA?
So, good segue into the topic. I was having a really, really hard time dating in San Francisco. A lot of lovely friends.
You said that you were married, right?
I was.
You were married in San Francisco?
I was divorced 6 years ago.
Okay. So how long were you married for?
Not very long. I was married for just 2 years.
Okay.
The whole relationship was about 7 years. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys worked together for a little bit. Is it the marriage that created more problems in your relationship, or?
Good question. My ex-wife is wonderful. She's a wonderful person, and I genuinely do wish her all the best. And I can't say too much about it because it's not totally my story, of course. But we tried as hard as we could to make it work, and it ended up not working.
Okay. But you guys are good like now.
We are. We talk about once a year, something like that.
Oh, once a year.
Yeah, not a lot.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, we're not.
We're not enemies.
I don't think either of us.
I come from a divorced family. My parents don't talk to each other. They worked together for 20 years, and now they're like, enemies. And yeah.
I'm sorry.
So how come married, divorced, and then moved to LA?
Yeah.
Right? Started trying the LA dating scene.
Yeah. So why LA, right?
Yeah, why LA?
Yeah. So I was having a really hard time dating in San Francisco.
Okay.
I don't know exactly why. I have like theories about why. But I was ready to get back out there, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to find my partner. Let's try this. I got back on the apps. I hired a matchmaker.
Okay.
And I went and did activities and did all the things I could to try and meet new people, find that special someone. And I was just having a really hard time. I wasn't going on dates with people who felt like there was potential. When I would meet somebody where I thought there was something, maybe worth exploring,
Okay.
I couldn't get on our calendar.
Having a hard time in terms of like finding somebody that you can see yourself with,
Yes, exactly.
like a partner.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was more games, ghosting, red flags.
There's a lot of that.
I've experienced in the dating scene in LA and Miami. Miami's even worse. But you're saying that you meet people, but like nobody that you have a really, really good connection that could lead to. Do you want to get married again, or you just want to be? Oh, you don't. Okay.
I would be open to it. Yeah. I mean,
right,
for me,
right.
Which is a great question. And let's get back to the games because I do think there's a lot there. So I think it's both.
Okay.
But for me, I would be open to getting married again. I just really love being in a relationship. I find it so fulfilling to just have a partner and to share life with someone. And I do think that like
This is our nature.
I think so.
Okay.
And I think really honestly, I think that's what most men want. I really do. Even though I know a lot of women say that like men play games and then like have a hard time.
But
I do think
questions that I will ask you later, but I do understand that we are very different nature, and that's why the whole conversation I wanted to be about how women see relationships, how they approach intimacy, sex. Because the thing is, like, it's not that there's right or wrong.
Sure.
But I feel that we are very different natures.
Men and women.
Yes.
I agree.
For me, like, the number one is to understand and accept that we're different.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that. So really quickly, so the reason I ended up coming to LA, just to let you know. No, it's okay. But let's put a pin in our natures, because I think that's a really important conversation. And the conversations you've had on this podcast, I think, are interesting there. So I definitely want to keep a pin in that. But to answer your question about why I came down here, because it's kind of funny. So I was in San Francisco trying to meet my special someone. And I just couldn't. I couldn't get on first dates, or I went on a first date and it seemed promising. She said, "Wish you all the best."
I see. That's how I started. Okay.
Yeah. And so what I did on one of the apps or whatever is I moved my little location pin to LA.
Okay.
And I just wrote it on my thing, and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm in San Francisco, but I have friends in LA. If we match,
I come down all the time."
Yeah, I do. And I just started going on more dates in LA than I was going on in San Francisco. Right?
I feel like it makes more sense to move down here.
And then when the ceiling in my apartment started leaking, I knew
that was another
the universe. Yeah.
No, it's up.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, and for me, and I'm not sure if it's for all men, I think it might be, but for me anyway, I have a much easier time feeling hopeful about dating in LA than I do in San Francisco. Now, I definitely hear women. I hear the opposite from women, that it's hard in LA.
Actually, that was one of my questions. How do you see the dating scene in big cities like LA or Miami?
Yeah.
Because I would think that San Francisco would be a little bit easier, but again, I've never lived there, so I don't know how that is. So we moved here.
Yes.
And what did you want to say?
I was going to say I have a theory about that. I have a little
theory.
Yeah. I think the cities where there are a lot of tech jobs,
okay,
and there means there's a lot of dating age men, because tech, for all kinds of stupid reasons, is mostly dudes.
Yeah.
Which I think is dumb, but that's a different conversation. But that means when you have
nature, that's the thing. Women are attracted more to jobs that have to do with people, and men are more interested in things.
Maybe
nature.
Okay. We'll still put a pin in that. But that is the way it is, for sure, right? And so San Francisco, Seattle, Austin, a lot of the big tech hubs, I think you have a lot of guys. So if you're a single woman,
so you have a lot of options, but if you're a single guy, it's harder. Yeah, I get it.
In San Francisco, they say if you're a straight woman in San Francisco, your odds are good, but the goods are odd.
Maybe
so
I'm moving up there.
Listen, if you like talking about tech and like having blockchain, I'm sure you do very well.
I mean, a little bit.
I knew a matchmaker once who used to arrange for trips from New York City to San Francisco so women could visit San Francisco and try and date men.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, why not? Why not try that if nothing is working? So
I don't know if it's like that big of a
change?
Effect. Yeah, I don't know how big the change is, right? But I know
there are a lot of men in LA. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I've also heard. Yeah, I've also heard that for women, dating in LA can be tricky. I think dating for men and women in general is difficult for men and for women in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that also kind of adds to the difficulty, because men often, I think, don't understand what's difficult about it for women. And sometimes I think
that's their nature. That's exactly what I was talking about. I do think that a lot of people that don't want to lay their cards out from the get-go, they kind of, and you did mention that on one of your audio podcasts about dating apps. You said that I don't want you to put your best picture on. And I want you to say the things that they're actually very, very real, but you wouldn't say to everyone.
Yeah.
Because that eliminates a lot of people. And I do believe that actually I'm the person that never even uses filters on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that, I'm going to show you that. Why would I be okay with getting all those likes if that's not me? It's like disrespecting myself. So yeah, that's
you're very beautiful without filters, so you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said that. I didn't say it. So no, I'm kidding. But yeah.
I do. I would really, I mean, for dating apps, we could talk about dating apps, the whole thing. We can talk about social media too. I would love to talk about that.
That was another question.
I kind of think about dating apps and social media as kind of a similar thing, but for both. I think if you're using the internet to try and meet a potential partner, I really do think it's important to kind of let yourself be a little messy.
Yeah.
Show the part of yourself that some people are going to be like, I don't know, because the person you end up with is going to love that part of you. You know, like you want to be with someone who's going to love that you have, like, you know, I have these lines on my forehead, and, you know.
So much time. I'm not anymore on dating apps, but when I started, I wanted to put like my sexiest picture, which is wrong because what are you gonna attract?
Yeah.
Then I didn't say anything about what I wanted because I want to get married. I'm dating to get married, but I don't want kids. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's something I would say, but he's gonna find out anyways.
Yeah.
So why not save me time? You know? So that's what I'm talking about, laying down all your cards.
Agreed.
You know,
especially for a very beautiful woman, because if you're an attractive woman on the internet, I don't have to tell you, you're going to get a lot of attention from dudes, right? And
not the attention that I want.
Exactly.
You know, and I hate when they start the conversation with like, "Hey, babe."
Sure.
Like, that's how you start a conversation.
Yeah.
You know.
My advice for men for like how to say hello, how to start a conversation, is make it short. Make it funny, like make her smile.
Exactly.
And make it clear that you read her profile. Make it clear that you read if you're sliding into her DMs on Instagram, say something that makes it clear that you understand like what she's about or what she's doing, aside from the fact that you like that she's.
But I don't think that a lot of guys are like even going through that bio. I literally mentioned that I am not looking for casual. I'm not looking for one night stand. It's like so clear. And then we get messages like, "Oh, so what are you doing tonight?" I'm like, definitely not coming to you.
Yeah, that sucks. I get it. That does.
Are you on social media? No, I mean dating apps.
I am. I'm on one dating app. I try not to use it too much. Okay. I actually had a date tonight that fell through because she didn't read my bio and she didn't notice that I don't want kids. So we both don't want kids.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Which is okay, but I always make sure to like.
But I'm glad that she saw it at least, and
I had to ask her over text. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people miss it, which is, I don't know. I get it.
Do you have kids?
I don't know.
But you don't have kids.
No kids. I'm a very good uncle.
Okay.
Me too.
Honestly, I think it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
You know, if one of them really wants to have kids and the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
My twin sister, she's lucky because her husband never wanted kids.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want. So I think it's something that, it's a little bit too much on the first date, but it is very important at the same time. You know?
I don't think it's too much. I mean, I agree with you. I agree that it can feel very vulnerable to talk about that kind of thing, for sure. I think especially if you're using the internet to try and date, or if you're at a place where you feel like you're ready to meet your person, I would really encourage anyone to be vulnerable. Say the things that you think are going to be kind of tricky. Because you don't want to waste your time.
Yeah, and I know we're trying to build this like the best version of ourselves, right?
Sure.
But that's not who we really are, you know. And how long can you pretend?
Yeah, for sure.
You are. I do want to ask you about something that was really interested. You mentioned it, but I don't agree 100%.
That's okay.
So it's the cold approach.
Okay, yeah.
So you want to explain to our audience what a cold approach is?
Yes. Okay. So cold approach is usually a man walking up to a woman saying like something like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I had to walk over and say hello to you. I would have been kicking myself all night if I didn't come and ask you, can I buy you a drink? What's your name? I'm Scott. I'm really into Dungeons and Dragons. Can I just buy you a drink?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it, as you can tell.
And you think that this is not something...
I don't like cold approach.
But to me, that is super romantic and super awesome.
That's very sweet.
You know, and especially when there is some kind of like exchange of like, look, you know, you kind of like see a smile, you kind of invite them. So that for me is like dopamine 100% up, you know.
Sure.
It's super exciting for me. What I consider a cold approach is on Instagram that they see pictures and they're like, oh, I would love to take you to dinner. Like, you don't know me at all.
Sure.
You know, so that's where I will agree. But if I'm at the bar and I'm working and I see some guy and, you know, we exchange like looks and everything, I can't wait until they come and they say something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh my God, it looks like he knows what he wants. He goes for it. And he's not afraid to be rejected.
Yeah, sure. It takes courage,
So,
and it's fun. It feels really nice.
approach.
I get it.
But again, that's what I'm talking about, like our different nature. So to your eyes, it's like kind of lame. Why would I go and saying that you're beautiful is not good enough, or
So the
is that what you're coming from? I guess.
close. And I love that we see this differently, by the way. It's totally okay to see things differently. Okay, here's why I don't like cold approach, especially for men. And can we talk a little more about how we met?
100%.
Because how we met was one of my friends, I think, came up to you and said something like that. Yeah. Lovely guy. Love him so much. Okay, here's why I don't like cold approach. I think if you're looking for someone, if you have an understanding of who you're looking for, if you kind of know yourself and you know what you're looking for, I think you don't quite know enough about someone when you like see them across the room and like, you know, kind of make eyes and go like, I think that is cold approach. I think if someone is giving me a vibe or someone is saying like, if a woman, let's say at the gym, I think it's that doing it at the gym is a really tricky way. I usually don't bother other people. I'm sure dudes are always like hanging around you, like waiting to talk.
I see them every day.
Totally.
So we kind of create like that friendship, gym buddy or whatever. And then I guess it's not as cold.
I think that's the way to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm so glad you said that. Okay, so if I'm at the gym and someone is cute and they make some signal, they look at me or they, you know, little things you do to let someone know that like you're open to them. Yeah. Which happens very rarely, but let's say it happens to me. And I say hello. I'm never interested. I'm never looking to ask that person out, ask that woman out. I'm looking to just get to know her, right?
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. First of all, you know, I'm at the gym. The gym is like church to me. Like the gym, I don't want to be like
Same.
I don't want my gym to be a place where anybody feels uncomfortable. So I don't want to contribute to that kind of culture. But between her and me, like if someone says hello to me and just like starts talking, to me, that's like the beginning of a friendship. And I think the way you're talking about it, that's the way to do it. I would advise, instead of cold approach, I would advise mostly men, because we look to men to be kind of the initiators, right?
I do like that.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure.
Old school.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into the boss babe and feminism and all that is happening in LA a lot. You know? I find it more romantic when the guy goes.
Yeah.
Because again, that's your nature. You're supposed to be the hunter. And I'm supposed to be, you know.
Okay.
So
I will say,
old school, so.
I totally hear you. I do think I'm a feminist, but I'm also old-fashioned. I know I'm going to be the one probably who's going to, you know, take the risk and say hello. But that's a whole other conversation.
But not that I've never done it, but it just doesn't feel right, I guess. You know?
You don't feel that spark. You don't feel that. Yeah, I get it. I think many women. This is interesting. I put a pin in this. I want to hear about how you like put a vibe out. Like if you see somebody and you think they're kind of interesting, I want to hear about.
So I would look towards them and try to give it like a nice smile. Not something crazy, but like
very simple.
You know, and maybe kind of like a nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I will, you know, maybe go closer. Like say if I'm in the gym, I would probably like try to work out closer to them and see, you know, get the vibe. That's how I would do it. Nothing creepy, obviously. Again, I won't do, because I used to be the opposite. I used to try to hide everything like we're in high school, you know?
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to be a little bit more open. And I hope for the best.
I think that's great.
You know?
I think that's great. I think for some women, I can't speak for all women. Well, I can't speak for any women, but
yeah.
I think sometimes women feel like it's important to be like avoidance. I think for many women, there's a feeling like that you need to be sort of on defense, right? Because so many men are going to kind of ignore your boundaries. And even if you're not putting up that signal, come and talk to you anyway. Yeah. And I'm sure this happens to you at the gym all the time, Well, you let me know,
I
right?
mean, I usually get people coming up to me that I'm not interested.
Yeah,
But they have nothing to lose. So it's not, they haven't seen any signs.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of guys, I know you guys are more visual, you know, so it's true. Like our worth it is a look, and guys' worth is like they're being very powerful or very successful on what they do. This is how, I don't know if it's a society or if it's like something that is in our nature. But, you know, we say that the woman is like the beautiful sex.
Yeah.
So I'll get some guys that I'm a little bit outside their league, I guess, you know, and they go, oh, you only date gym guys. And I'm like, well, if you are not working out at all, you know, and you find me attractive, why is it like crazy or lame if I find a guy that goes to the gym attractive? You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm like, well, you think I'm shallow, but at least I'm working out, you know? So it's not that I have standards. Like, I don't care really about like abs or whatever, but I will respect somebody. Because if you go to the gym, you know that it's not just about your body, it's discipline, it's health, it's commitment. It shows a lot about your character. It's not just the working out part and the abs. So that's just the result. And
Same also. I'm the same way. I'll be swiping and I'll be like her thighs are too skinny, you know, like. But I guess what I mean to say about that is like, and thank you for sharing that. I think, well, first of all, I think it's totally okay, and for men and for women, like you like what you like, you know, like if you look at another human being and that little spark isn't there.
I mean, everything starts, you know, from the picture, for example, you know, or by looking at somebody. From their look, like that's the first thing you're gonna see. You don't know them. Then once you start having the conversation, feeling the vibe, maybe you're gonna end up like falling in love with them or hating them. You know, it's what are your biggest turnoffs in a woman? Things I said,
okay,
I hate it.
What are my biggest turnoffs? If someone is like rude. Like if you're on a date and someone is like unkind to the waiter.
Or, oh, that's a big one. That's because I work in hospitality.
Yeah.
That is a big one for me. Oh my God. Yeah. I love it. I love that so much.
I don't know. I get it. Some people feel like you gotta be like aggressive or you gotta like focus on yourself. And I get that, but I value kindness. Yeah. It's something that I don't, turn-offs. I don't know. I can tell.
It's like when they're looking on a phone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but yeah, I try not to.
Understanding that you might have like a business call or emergency or whatever, but like the whole thing that I'm talking to you and you're like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we're all addicted to our phones, right?
Yeah.
I try to keep my phone away.
At least on a date.
Oh, yeah. As much as possible. My phone, I have it like, I can show you. I have it like black and white. So it's less like, I try to make it less addictive. It doesn't work. But I try to keep that thing away. I do think our phones are addictive, and I think it takes effort to actually. Let's talk about social media. I think it takes effort to
stay away.
Connect. Yeah, stay away from your phone and to connect with real people. You know what I mean?
It's like I talked about social media. For me, it has worked. It's a great tool, but
yeah, for what you do, you need it.
Not my phone's slave or social media slave. I try to use it for work, you know, to get inspiration. The algorithm, I am kind of dictating the algorithm. So I don't want to be social media slave. Like I'm trying to have control of it. But if you start scrolling, it's so addictive. You have no idea of time. And you can go down the rabbit hole. But it can also be a great tool. That's the thing. So I'm in the middle when it comes to social media.
That's one of that you put it exactly right. I think it's such a hard thing because if you are connecting with people in the year 2025, you have to be on social media. You have to be.
And you don't care at all. Like my twin sister, she's married. Her job has nothing to do with social media. She used to do fitness modeling, but not anymore. Now she's like into she's getting as a patient coordinator, so she doesn't really care. So she's just used in social media like to scroll, but not as a tool. But for us, like if you want to do something like, you know, podcast and you need audience, well, you want to put your content out there.
I'm so bad at that.
You need it.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. I think for a lot of professions, you just have to be on social media because it's how we communicate. But yeah, I think like I think you said on one of your videos that it's lonely media.
Oh, it is lonely.
Yeah. I think it's true. I think it promises
It's fake too.
yeah,
A lot of times.
it promises human connection. Like when you feel like, oh, I wonder what people are doing, or I want to feel like I'm a part of a group, or I want to like see what my friends are up to. You feel like you can pick up your phone and fire up Instagram or TikTok and get that connection, but you never do.
No, you end up being more depressed because you see the right angle and the right, event that people went, and you're just like, oh, I'm not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how I feel.
And that's not, if you're feeling that, you at home, that's not your fault. Like it's designed that way.
That's why my algorithm is about makeup, even though I don't care a lot. Like I'm not that great. It's fun, to watch for me, it relaxes me. Oh, it's dogs. It's puppies. It's dachshunds. My feed is all dachshunds. So yeah, it's so cute. I can. It's all dachshunds. So you can kind of like train your algorithm.
Yeah.
What else I want to ask you?
There's
Oh yeah, but we were doing something. What's something you wished women understood about men in dating?
Sure. Wow. Okay. Our different natures, and I love this conversation for us because I know we see it a little differently, but that's okay. I think men, for whatever reason, maybe it's how we're wired, maybe it's divine, maybe it's society, but I think men overemphasize physical intimacy. I think men are taught that the only way we're allowed to feel intimacy is sex, right? I think men are much less likely to open up to their friends in the same vulnerable way that women do. I think men are less likely to open up to their family in the same vulnerable way. I think in that way, men and women are actually very similar. That you need to feel seen and understood and valid, and you want to feel like loved.
Yeah.
And I think men, we, for whatever reason, we just don't do as good a job at finding that love in our platonic relationships and our friendships, right?
Right. Remember you said that, you start with the platonic, like if you're good at that, then you're probably going to be able to find a partner easier, I guess.
I think it's true. So that's the thing that I wish women would understand more, because I think when I talk to, and on my podcast, I mostly talk to women because guys don't want to talk about, but what I hear women say often is that like, and everyone approaches this differently. Everyone's life is different, but a lot of times I think women feel like sex is something that they offer as a reward. Like you talk to a man, you get to know him, you get him to commit. And then when he does enough, when you feel like he's committed enough, then it's okay for you to.
But we don't do that because we think he's committed enough. We do it because we feel comfortable and safe.
Yes.
So for me, like, I never found fun having a one-night stand.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why disrespecting your body is liberating in a way. Because, oh my God, yeah, explore your sexuality. I don't see that as fun, because for me,
it's always bad. One night stand, it's always like.
I'm not saying that I've never had one. I'm just saying that I'm not proud of it, and it didn't really give me anything apart from that moment of pleasure, and it was uncomfortable pleasure at the end of the day. It was I didn't know them, they didn't know me, so
it's not fun.
Yeah. So I would say that for me to have sex with somebody, it's not that I have to set 3 days, 4 days that you have to tell to me. It's when I feel comfortable, safe. Because for me, I think that the best relationship would be best friends becoming lovers.
I think you're right.
Because you love them as a person, and then you love them as a lover.
I agree. I think my wish for many women is for that wisdom that you have, right? Because I think a lot of women, in one way or another, kind of feel like their physical intimacy is something that they need to like protect and like almost use as like a lure to use as bait. You know what I mean? And I think that's really heartbreaking. But I think one of the reasons that happens is because men are really, really fixated on sex. Like physical intimacy becomes really important quickly in the relationship for a man, because that's how I feel. That's how men often feel, like, oh, this person really likes me, or oh, this relationship is giving me closeness, is giving me love, because
saying that they are using sex to become more intimate, closer to that woman?
I think it happens from both ends, because I think some women learn the message or receive the message that like that's how men work, right? So that you have to kind of like get a man to commit and like get him to like get his life together or whatever,
Right.
Using kind of your intimacy as like a thing to keep him around, as like a reward almost, if that makes sense.
Okay, I think I can understand what you're saying. That is, it is precious, and you're gonna get it once you showed me that I can trust you enough.
Sure.
Is that what you mean?
I think so. I mean, I think for everyone it's different.
Right.
But I think oftentimes, but I think also there's the other side of it is for men, where men, it's what a lot of men pursue. Like it's the thing that a lot of men are thinking, like, if I play my cards right, I'll get laid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that really does a disservice, because there is, first of all, it makes the sex bad. And there's so much more to, I think, a healthy romantic connection than physical intimacy, right? And it's like, it's a little unbalanced, because men essentially are like starving for intimacy. I think a lot of men are, people talk about this a lot, how men are lonely, right? And I think women are lonely also, but
women are easier to make friendships. So for us, it's easier to make friends. Even though there's some research that shows that women playing in the same team treat each other, teammates, worse than two basketball teams, like with men, like from different basketball teams.
That's interesting. Yeah, you were telling me about this actually the night we met.
But when it comes to be vulnerable to another girl, guys that don't want to be vulnerable, or they don't want to associate with somebody that is complaining, that is crying. So even though you're going to be nicer to your opponent in a basketball team, you might feel kind of, the ick when your guy friend will complain about his issues. That's what research are. That's not something that I'm saying.
That's interesting.
But, yeah.
I mean, I guess I buy that, like getting the ick, you say. I think men are taught that like being vulnerable makes you weak, makes you feminine, right?
Yeah, even though I disagree.
I also disagree.
I feel it actually, it takes courage, for sure. That's what
I do hear women say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I totally agree with that. And I wish that some of my ex-boyfriends were a little bit more vulnerable to me, so I had an understanding of what was going on. Yeah. I believe in relationships, the biggest issue is communication, honesty.
Agreed.
And then the understanding that we're different natures. I mean, if you understand all these three, again, I'm a single lady, so we'll be talking a lot about that. I've never been married or divorced. But I think that if we're just open and honest about what we want or what we don't want. Because for me, in my first relationship, he was a narcissist. So it was really, really hard to have a first relationship and that person was a narcissist on top of that. I was terrified to tell him that this hurts me a lot or you're disrespecting me. So I was keeping everything inside. And it was doing me such a disservice. But I'm sorry. Fun. It's learning experience, I guess. What do you think through your marriage that is something that it didn't work? Or things that you would want to change in yourself, or something that your ex-wife you couldn't really like deal with?
That
happened in a divorce.
For sure. Okay, so the story of my divorce, again, it's not really my story alone to tell. I will say, though, for me, one of the big lessons that I learned is, and that I'm still learning, is valuing myself, like understanding. I don't mean this as like a humble brag, but I in the past, I have gotten myself into relationships that don't really serve me, that aren't really meeting me where I am, or aren't really like bringing what I think I'm ready for. And I've said to myself, like, oh, that's okay. Like, this is what I deserve. I need to learn to be happy with what the universe brings me, or whatever you want to call it, and I need to be humble, right? And I do try to stay humble. I try to be, but I have in the past stayed in relationships where I knew it wasn't the right thing. And That was a tough lesson for me to learn, but it's a really important lesson because it's not only like me and for anybody, I think, right? Understanding what is right for you and understanding what you deserve and understanding how you need to be met in a romantic relationship. It's not only for you, right? Yeah. Like if you stay with somebody and for whatever reason they're staying in the relationship and you're not letting them know what you need, you're not saying,
you're not honest either. Yeah.
You know, you're being dishonest. You're not helping them, and you're not letting them grow. The way they need to grow, or you're not even letting them like understand why it might not be working.
I think in my relation with that ex-boyfriend, I could not set any boundaries, and which makes you look pathetic. So I understand why that person would not be attracted to me, but I didn't know any better. I was too scared to say anything. I was too scared to set boundaries. But now I understand that guys will appreciate that, or girls will appreciate that in a relationship, because when you're setting boundaries, you have self-respect.
Sure.
So if you don't have self-respect, there's no way anybody will respect you. And that's what I think. He was a terrible person. He was a narcissist, but I think that's where I was wrong.
I would see that from a slightly different lens from my experience. And you're not a pathetic person. Like I've met you twice. I can tell you right now, you're not, right? So I don't care. Like for me, it matters less about, you, the audience, like understanding whether or not you're being respected. I mean, you should be respected, but like I would say to any friend, I don't care if somebody thinks you're pathetic or not. If somebody thinks you're pathetic, they're wrong. Ignore them. What I care about is, this is just me seeing the same thing from a different perspective. What I want you to be able to do, I want any of my friends to be able to do, what I want me to be able to do is to like set a boundary to say, this is something that I need. Like I need to not do this. I need to not go out with your friends tonight because like I need to be in. I'm an introvert. I have to like read my science fiction. You know what I mean?
In the way that he would disrespect like my friends. This kind of boundaries, not that, oh, I want you to do this, like I want flowers or. But he wasn't nursing. Yeah, he was not a great person.
He's got a lot of
but there's a lot of trauma after that because, unfortunately, that was my first relationship. So I didn't know what I was doing. I thought that they're supposed to be extremely hard, and I was the same person. Next relationship, the guy treated me like a queen, and I'm like, something bad is gonna happen because it didn't feel normal to me.
You weren't used to it.
I wasn't used to it, so I was expecting, it's gonna come. Something's gonna come very soon. So no, and I just couldn't relax. Because I was so traumatized from the first boyfriend. But, anyways, well, I think we went through a lot.
We did.
Touched on a lot of topics. I know we could like stay here and talk for hours.
I could talk to you for hours.
That's why I have to invite you to another episode.
Anytime.
If you would like to
Anytime.
join us. Thank you again so much. And where can we find you? And please talk about your audio.
Oh yeah, so the podcast is called Wish You All the Best. It's a personal podcast about modern dating. As you can maybe tell from this conversation, what I'm trying to do.
And it's also very easy to listen to. It's so relaxing. It is.
It's not super high production value, but it's a passion project. And I try to have conversations that I think help men understand how to approach dating with more. And I think the last thing I'll say is, if there are any guys watching.
Hope so.
I'm sure there are. Yeah. I think we are in an interesting place, men, culturally. I think, and we can talk about feminism maybe on the next one, but I think for generations, society has changed what we allow and expect of women. And I think that's a good thing. But we haven't really done that work for men. I think it's time for us to reconsider what we expect and what we allow of men. Because I think a lot of men are trying to be some kind of ideal of what a good man should be. And a lot of those ideas are a little outdated. Not that everything from tradition is bad. I don't think that's true. But I do think there's room for us to, together, men and women together, figure out what being a good man is and to let that be a little different than it has been in the past. And my podcast is just a little voice out there in the chorus trying to be a part of it.
But it's definitely very interesting, and I've learned a lot. Because, when I speak with my girls, it's only from the woman's perspective. So most of this conversation about modern dating, it's women presenters, co-hosts, and all that. So that's why I wanted to invite you, because having another girl and we talk about the same things, the red flags, but it's only from our point of view.
Sure.
So it's so nice to see somebody, you know, to not be afraid to talk about a guy's perspective.
Thank you. You're really sweet. I really appreciate it. And I love what you're doing here. Anytime, literally anytime. I will. I sure will.
Awesome. And we'll see you guys at the next one. Subscribe, like, please.
Oh, yeah.